The atmosphere inside the Cleveland Browns camp is tense, almost suffocating, as whispers of discontent ripple through the locker room. What began as quiet murmurs of frustration has now exploded into open criticism after star wide receiver Jerry Jeudy broke his silence on the ongoing quarterback drama. In a shocking twist that caught fans and analysts off guard, Jeudy publicly threw his full support behind Shaduer Sanders, the young quarterback at the center of the storm. With each passing week, head coach Kevin Stefanski's reluctance to name Sanders as the team's starting quarterback has drawn more and more scrutiny, and Judy's comments have now set fire to a situation already teetering on the edge. During a post-practice interview, Jeudy made it clear that his confusion had reached its breaking point. "I don't know what that was," he admitted when asked about the Browns' latest quarterback decisions. "Of course, I wish all those plays connected. You know, it's football, it's not always perfect." His tone was respectful but firm, and beneath his carefully chosen words, the message was obvious: Shaduer Sanders deserves better. With veteran Joe Flacco no longer in the picture, Jeudy openly questioned why Stefanski continues to dance around the obvious, refusing to let Sanders step into the role he's earned. The support from Jeudy didn't stop there. He went on to highlight just how committed Sanders has been since the very beginning. According to him, Shaduer has been one of the few players, alongside Dillon, who showed up early, stayed late, and gave his all since OTAs and minicamp. "He's been doing his thing from day one," Jeudy said, emphasizing that Sanders' consistency and preparation are second to none. To Jeudy, it's not a question of potential anymore, it's a question of opportunity. Once he gets his chance, he's going to take advantage of it, he declared confidently, echoing what many inside the organization have been whispering for weeks. When asked about Shaduer's recent statement that he's absolutely ready to play, Jeudy didn't hesitate to back him up. Rather than downplaying the young quarterback's confidence, he praised it. "He's been doing a great job understanding the plays, doing whatever the coaches ask," Jeudy explained. "He's been a pro, staying patient, and preparing for his moment. There's nothing wrong with saying he's ready, he's earned that right." For Jeudy, Sanders' readiness isn't arrogance, it's the natural confidence of a player who knows he's done everything required of him. But Jeudy isn't alone in this. Defensive captain Myles Garrett has also stepped into the conversation, adding his own powerful voice to the growing chorus in Sanders' favor. When asked what's impressed him most about the young quarterback, Garrett didn't hesitate. "The time he takes," he said. "Showing up early, spending hours in the coach's office, breaking down plays, asking questions. Almost every morning, you see him in there. That tells you everything you need to know about who he is." Garrett's words carried weight, not just because of his status as one of the league's top defensive players, but because he represents the veteran leadership of the team. When someone like Garrett vouches for a rookie, the entire league takes notice. Garrett went further, describing Shaduer's maturity as something every player should strive for. In a locker room filled with egos and uncertainty, Sanders' quiet professionalism has stood out. He doesn't make excuses, doesn't create drama, and never shirks responsibility. Instead, he works relentlessly. "He's earned every bit of respect he gets," Garrett added. "You can see the growth, the discipline, the hunger. That's rare." Despite this overwhelming support from some of the team's biggest leaders, Kevin Stefanski continues to dig his heels in. He insists that he's doing what's best for the team and for Sanders' development. "I always want to set our guys up for success," he told reporters. But those words are beginning to sound hollow, especially when compared to his actions. The coach continues to cite Shaduer's youth and inexperience as reasons for holding him back, yet he has no problem giving snaps to players like Quinton Judkins, a rookie who didn't even complete a full training camp. If Judkins can handle the spotlight, why can't Sanders? That's the question everyone's asking, and Stefanski has yet to provide a convincing answer. Dan Orlovsky, never one to mince words, tore into the Browns' handling of the situation during a recent ESPN segment. "It's disappointing," he said bluntly. "There's no real competition for that backup role, and yet Shaduer hasn't even been named QB2. What's going on?" He went on to question the Browns' entire plan for the season, reminding fans that management had once promised to focus on developing future quarterbacks like Dillon and Shaduer. "If that's true," Orlovsky continued, "then why isn't he getting those opportunities? You can't talk about building for the future while ignoring the very players you said were the future." The frustration among fans and analysts is now impossible to ignore. Social media is filled with clips of Shaduer's practice throws, his calm presence in the pocket, and his leadership during team huddles. The people have seen enough to believe, and they're demanding answers. Each week that passes without a decision only intensifies the scrutiny on Stefanski, whose cautious approach is beginning to look less like strategy and more like fear. The irony is that everything Sanders has done should have silenced doubt long ago. He's shown up early to every meeting, stayed late after every practice, and mastered the playbook with veteran-like precision. He's the first one in the building and often the last one to leave. He doesn't complain about the lack of playing time, he simply keeps preparing for the moment he'll finally be called upon. Yet somehow, that moment never comes. Inside the locker room, respect for Shaduer is unanimous. He's not seen as the flashy rookie trying to steal the spotlight, he's seen as the disciplined young man who's quietly earning it. His teammates rally around him not just because of his talent, but because of how he carries himself. That's what makes this situation so frustrating. It's not about ego, not about entitlement, it's about fairness. If the Browns continue to sideline him, they risk more than just losing games. They risk losing the locker room's trust. Players like Jeudy and Garrett don't speak out publicly unless they feel something is truly wrong. Their comments signal more than just support. They are warning. The team's leaders are beginning to lose patience, and if the coaching staff doesn't act soon, it could create divisions that are difficult to repair. The growing belief is that Shaduer's future might not even be in Cleveland much longer. With reports surfacing that the Las Vegas Raiders are interested in offering him a substantial deal, the stakes have never been higher. The Browns are standing on the edge of a potential disaster, one that could see them lose a quarterback who has all the tools to become a franchise cornerstone. And if that happens, the blame won't fall on Shaduer Sanders. It'll fall squarely on the organization that failed to see what was right in front of them. The fans are watching. The analysts are speaking. And the players themselves are beginning to take sides. The Browns are running out of time to make things right. Shaduer Sanders isn't just another young player waiting for a chance, he's the future. And every day he spends on the bench, that future slips further away. So, what do you think? Is Kevin Stefanski making a colossal mistake by refusing to start Shaduer Sanders? Is he protecting his job by playing it safe, or simply too stubborn to admit his wrong? Could we see Shaduer in silver and black before the season ends, leading the Raiders under those bright Vegas lights? Let us know what you think in the comments. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the Browns quarterback drama, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more in-depth sports stories, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next chapter in this unfolding saga.